podcast. Once again, it is me, Dark Cloud, working on it, and Zev. And today we are just going to do some general and possibly have a guest come on a little later. But that right now that is up in the air.
Yes.
So with that, how is everyone? How are you two doing?
Did you just call me Seth? Sounded in the intro.
Steph, it's
Snuff.
just weird. Your username's weird. Stuff.
Snuffy struggle. I don't pronounce the sets as sets. It just looks good.
Ah. Well, I'm still recovering from my vacation somewhat. As in-
That's something you don't hear a lot. I'm recovering from vacation. Isn't a vacation supposed to be a recovery?
Well,
Vacation from her vacation.
well, I haven't done anything weird. Well, I have done no hiking vacation, but the thing that happens to me if I go into nature for a long time. So this time I was walking through the woods of Wicklow Way for more than a week, and suddenly come back to urban areas and get inside a lot. I get massive headaches. Of one, yeah. So I have one right now, but I'm still here. So yay! But it's
Oh man, so
That just shows how hard we work for you guys.
yeah,
Barbs is having a splitting headache now, but she is powering through it to get you guys your end.
yeah.
That's why I nicknamed her Barbs the Beast.
so something interesting was happening on Twitter yesterday. So like, the Sonic team got the voice actors of Eggman, Tails, Shadow, and Sonic together,
Mm-hmm.
and they did a Q&A, like a live Q&A
Yeah.
on Twitter. And like, I guess some of it was about the movie. It's just like random Sonic questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where is the part that makes Twitter blow up?
That was really cool. I saw some snippets of it, but also it announced that they pushed the Sonic movie back just because they really want to redesign Sonic, and it's going to take longer than they thought.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now coming out in 2020, in like the second month.
Okay,
It's
so
the end
what
of
was
this
it
year.
supposed to come out before? When was it supposed to come out before?
It was supposed to come out like
This
I
year.
think the same month Frozen 2 is supposed to come out. Apparently, it's come out this month, by the way.
This month?
Yeah.
This month.
Really?
Or not
Ooh.
this year. It's supposed to come out in like a couple months.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like sometimes I'm quite. When it comes to internet stuff, I'm very much back on the things. Like I barely watched. I watched like only one James Charles ranting video. So yeah, I don't really know much when it comes to controversies and that stuff. But yeah, there's something that Sonic, it was supposed to be a Sonic movie, and then the character model for Sonic was like horrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
Actually, kind of scary. Like it's very very well made, but it looked like a 12-year-old made it.
Mm-hmm.
The design is very bad. That's the thing. It's just kind of semi scary even.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I don't get is how they got the original design approved by people, because they should have known that the way Sonic looks like right now is just not going to be accepted by the main people that's going to watch it. And I'm really interested in how that came to be, because for example, Detective Pikachu looks amazing, especially in contrast
Oh yes,
to the film.
yes.
Has
I
anyone?
haven't.
Oh yes, yes. The only one gripe I have with Detective Pikachu is that like uh, it's Ryan Reynolds who does its voice, and it's in some ways like you gotta get used to it. It's sometimes like it feels like a fan dub. It feels like somebody making a. The voice is so unfitting. Like Ryan Reynolds has a cool voice. His demeanor is quite cool, chill, and old. It's clear that it's like in the middle of his 30s or even older. I don't know how old he is, but
He's a relatively
and
young actor when it comes to like actors, because like Ryan Reynolds has only popped up within the last like 10 years of movies, like seriously as like an actual actor. I know he's been acting than that.
he's 42
but, like,
actually.
Oh yeah.
That's a good 42.
Yeah, but
He
again,
looks
like
he could pass for like.
what I said is that like it doesn't fit at all, and that's just like it's the voice that it's a good voice over in that, but it's not a good fit. If you get what I mean, like I had literally actually problems thinking like, no, this isn't the real voice. This is not the official voice they gave for him. Which is so here we got the 42-year-old man who is voicing a cute, fluffy Pikachu.
Well, I think like it worked well for the movie that it was. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to, and I've only heard good things, which is great. We need a good like video game movie
Yeah.
because like all of them are bad. All of them are bad.
Oh no, not all.
And
Like one of the Resident Evil. Okay.
I don't even count those as video game movies because they don't even follow like it's like loosely based characters.
Guys,
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a Mario movie too.
have you seen
Yeah,
have you
sounds
seen the
about right.
original Mario movie?
Oh God, no!
As a kid, I thought it was really
I
good.
didn't know that Ryan Reynolds was formally engaged to Scarlett Johansson. Huh?
Ah well, but Benjamin, if you want to see a bad video game movie, watch the original Mario movie because
Oh man,
that
Monkey.
one of the
Where
Have you
Bowser
ever
is just a
played-
guy. Is just a guy in blonde, spiky hair.
yes.
it's like when he was still like Kid Koopa, like Koopa, so like that's what they call him. He got Bowser, but in Japan it was Kid Koopa, so I guess they just went with that.
But it was a Western-made movie.
No, I don't understand. After that, that movie's just real bad. One of the the actor who played Mario, his arm was broken for like half of the film,
Oh dear.
and like and shit like that. Like they hate. It was supposed to be completely different. Like I've looked into it. Like the movie was supposed to be super different, but then directors at last second, and the director had a like whole new direction and wanted to go in after like for it. So like apparently the people who were playing Mario and Luigi showed up to the set that was supposed to be a Mushroom Kingdom and were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like just wasn't anything like they were told it was gonna be like.
Yeah, but video game movies, like was it like the one that was made for Warcraft? World of Warcraft.
That one. I saw that one.
Was it good?
People hate it, but I thought it was okay.
Because it was like, that's Lord of the Rings. It had such a Lord of the Ringsy feel.
Yeah.
I watched. the cinemas since video on it, and they made a good point that the orc music there was like the exact sounded the exact same like the one from Lord of the Rings. Just like yeah, like yeah. When it comes to video game, wasn't there one that feels like there was one that was quite recent? I don't know which one.
I don't even know anyone who saw Assassin's Creed. Like they made Assassin's Creed movies, but I don't know anyone who
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
think that was 2016 actually.
And Five Nights at Freddy's is getting a movie. It's just taking Scott forever to settle on a script.
Yes.
Wait, Scott Kaufman. So he is right.
Most like it's more like he's writing the outline, like the plot summary,
Also,
and then people are writing the dialogue.
So he is more or less this the script director supervisor.
He said that some like pretty shitty scripts have like made their way to his desk before. Or he like,
yeah,
dude,
but
no.
yeah, that's good. But kind of funny that how the hell, like he made Christian kids games before, or actually Christian animation. And then the whole thing behind Five Nights at Freddy's was that one game people criticized him that the figures in the games look like creepy animatronic dolls that are actually creepy, and that's kind of like crushed its soul. But then, like, wait, I can actually make a horror game out of this, and that's Five Nights at Freddy's. But that, like, he made video games for kids. And that's one thing. I'm like, how? Like, how can he know horror script when he made that? And yeah, again, he feels like really one of the guys that you wouldn't expect him to make horror games.
Oh,
yeah, but isn't it supposed to be made by Blumhouse Productions, right?
Like it's being made, and like he may have already settled on a script, and he may have shooting may be happening, but you know he'd never say anything.
Yeah,
he's
but
very
no. But it's being made by Blumhouse Productions, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. That was like, yeah, that has been in the works for several years now. Actually, I remember a long time ago. Years ago when people theorized and that it was slightly official, so maybe we see it next year or in 2021. Yeah,
you know, takes time.
Yeah, but what I am what I am actually quite curious about, are they gonna make actual animatronics or are they gonna do CGI?
I think it's going to be both. I think they're mixing practical effects with CGI.
Yeah, but I would adore it if it was like the Mad Max approach, because like the Mad Max Fury, like more or less the vast majority of all those stunts, no, more or less everything in the movie was 100% real. The only thing that was like computer generated was like adding an extra bit of flair, an extra flame or explosion or dust cloud in the middle of a crash. That was a small thing like that, and I hope that they at least good animatronics and just don't overblow it on the CGI, because that's the one thing. If they because I can get that it would be hard to light and make an actual animatronic look good, but it would also really make it like super immersive to actually see them in, make them a bit clunky, and it would actually help to the effect. These are animatronics.
Ben, let Cloud talk for a while.
Okay, so I think what they're gonna do is like the animatronic for like most things, but when it comes to like if they have to do a fast scene or like some of the jump scares are probably going to be CGI, just so like they can get quicker movement going and things like that.
Yeah, so more or less
Because
you are proposing that Foxy will be CGI because he runs.
Probably. It just depends because like, and animatronics are great, but they are very clunky, and like
Mm-hmm.
They are supposed to be in this scenario.
to make do like quick movements and stuff. So I think most of the time they're going to be real because I've seen like people building them. Like but if they need to move faster than an animatronic can physically do, they'll do CGI for it. It's just probably go like the Jurassic Park approach because most of everything in Jurassic Park was was an animatronic, but
Ooh. I have a fun fact about that.
Mm-hmm.
Was in the scene when the two kids were in the car and the T-Rex smashes his head through the roof window, and more or less they are holding that the glass in front of them while more or less the whole head is trying to gnaw through the glass. It's in the first movie. That was completely that was more completely real. That was not more or less that is the real animatronic falling over, crashing through the glass, and they are literally doing that for real.
They're scared for their life, you mean?
Yeah, and the Steven Spielberg is like, put that in.
Yeah, I would imagine that. I also can imagine that with suits that can fit a human being, they'll probably use larger than life puppetry, like they probably will do with the Dark Crystal show that's coming up. Anyone being hyped for the Dark Crystal?
Oh no, I know what it does. Yeah.
Or like like for certain characters on like like Sesame Street and stuff like Snuffleupagus and Big Bird and things like that. They're like full suits that you see.
Yes.
Yeah, but making a suit for more or less making a human do. Actually, would that work in the Final Freddy's movie? Putting a really really tall guy into a Freddy suit and more or less, because that could make things like probably not for a lot of the scenes or a lot of the stuff, but at least you can more or less just use a few CGI effects to make it look like.
I think when
one of the problems with making
Cloud.
One of the problems with like making is once the shoot is done is like what to do with them. Usually in big budget movies with Universal and Disney and stuff, they just like put them in the rides about them, like repurpose them.
Yep. Okay, I don't know if this is a good idea or a very bad idea, but a Blumhouse theme park.
That'd be kind of
Blumhouse Productions theme park. God, that would be. God, what would even be in a Blumhouse theme park?
They do mainly do horror movies, so it'd be a horror.
Yeah, I know. But what would they? Because they don't really have much stuff when it comes to that kind of. It's mainly just they made Get Out. They made that and that new Get Out and that new movie that was made by the same guy. I don't know what it was. Us. Yeah, there we go. We have the Happy Death Day. We have a lot of movies, and it's just a lot of them. I don't know. Actually, no, it's actually kind of falling apart. But back to video game movie.
I think that the Mario
That's a-
movie is going to be interesting,
The new one.
but my only concern is that Illumination's making it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
are really,
Oh
really?
well. Sometimes,
Shit.
sometimes, when you least expect it, it becomes nice. Just like Superman into the Spider-Verse. I mean, it was a big surprise that it was a good movie, right?
Yeah, like yeah, but, like I first actually kind of thought it was like that. I don't know if any. What was it now again that Sky Disney tried to do Skylanders? It was like what was
Don't know.
what was it in Disney? Wait,
Disney Infinite?
yeah, I thought it was like a Disney Infinite ad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and then I kind of like thought, what the hell is this? Like it felt either like I didn't really know what it was. It felt almost like a troll or like a student project that, but or actually no, it felt actually like a game. It felt like a game trailer, and either that or it would like be a TV show because it didn't feel like I was watching an ad for a movie. Let's just say that, and that's very odd style, and for some reason everybody goddamn loves it.
Yeah, Cloud, what did you think
think of what?
of the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse?
Oh, I love that movie. That movie was
I
hella
didn't
good.
see it.
Uh, it's really good. It's really fun. There are a lot of creation process is super interesting.
Yes.
It's one of the most visually stunning movies I've ever seen.
I watched it as well, and I watched it especially from an animation standpoint, of course. I'm not the biggest fan of Spider-Man, sorry, but I watched it from an animation standpoint, and it was really interesting that they mixed all kinds of different styles into there. So there was a very cartoonish style, there was a more CGI style, there was a sort
Isn't
of
it a 3D movie?
yes, but they also got a bit of a more like Warner Brothers cartoon style in there. So
So
all
more or less,
those
a lot
styles.
of it was kind of cartoony, kind of cell shaded kind of look.
Yes. So
No,
every and
no,
then
it has a bunch of different
No,
styles.
no, but cell shading doesn't have to make the outlines black. It can just make them
no, true, but
because
everything was
yeah, because
integrated
like Team
into
Fortress 2, that's very cartoony, but I think that's cell shaded too.
some of them are. But
But
everything
did
was
you get what I mean?
integrated.
Kind of like a
I get you. But everything was integrated into that 3D style that you see in the trailer. So everything was really smooth and everything was really worked out, and that's why everyone thinks it's a really stunning animation. And I agree with Cloud on that. It is
did
actually a good movie.
did it win an Oscar?
I
Yeah,
don't
it did.
know. Oh yeah.
It did win an Oscar.
Yeah, for what category did
I don't
it
remember.
win? Let me.
I don't remember.
Is it Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse?
Into the
Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is kind of wrong because like the comic it's based off of is like not the same at all. Like it's a totally different story.
But
Let's
Just
see here.
yeah.
they actually use Spider-Verse in the comics to kill off spider people that they weren't using anymore. And so like it was this huge thing. It's a huge arc that was really good. And they had a sequel to it recently that I read that was really good too.
Okay.
It's for best animated movie.
See,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Animation was really good. True.
Yeah, and I'm like the one nerd in the room that didn't see it. Oh God.
Like there was a video of like of all the what was it of all the
Voice actors?
people who worked on it, like all the animation team and the voice actors stuff from one room watching the screen, like as the Oscars were going on, and when they won the Oscar, like the whole team went crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's very like satisfying to like see your work get recognized,
True.
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Talking about getting awards, has anyone seen Eurovision?
Ooh, yes, 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 Queen, yes. No, 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 no. For any Americans out there,
Yes.
we have this Eurovision is more or less the most flamboyant and the most homosexual thing that Europe has to offer, and that's saying a lot. But more or less,
It is.
it's every country in Europe, actually a few other countries too, like Israel and Australia. Why are they with? Because they wanted to so badly. Actually, that's the reason why Australia is with. But more or less, it's a music contest, Eurovision Song Contest, and it's a music competition where each country sends one contestant with one song, and more or less they do two semifinals. They have them from both of them, and then they go for a grand final, and more or less, and then they all sing their song. The a jury of judges from each country, and the general public votes, and then the one who gets the most points then win. It's a major celebration of music. It more or less brings people together like none has ever seen before. It's a
Yes.
spectacle, and most Europeans love it.
Yes. So, Cloud, if you have the Super Bowl, for example, all the everything that comes into all those great what is it called, performances by artists, uh, expect that for every country that's competing. So it is a million, I maybe even $1 billion event, and
Yeah, but
it's to have a little bit of a background. If you know ABBA is from the Eurovision Song Contest. It's one of the major winners.
oh yes.
Yes. So it's I think it started 64 years ago, with only a couple of countries and only singing in their native tongue. So it would be French, German, English, Dutch, etc., etc. And
Yeah.
now but after a while, the countries realized that the bigger the spectacle, the more points they would get from the public. So I think late 90s, early 2000s, it got really out of hand with the ridiculousness and the gayness that's going on in the Eurovision
Wait,
Song Contest.
in what year did you say?
I think late 90s, early 2000s, it's really started.
Where it really started when it started to get really gay.
Yes.
And that's when the people either started to hate it or love it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and if you if you haven't heard, I love it. Yes.
But
Yes.
why I wanted to talk about is also to get Cloud into that. There were some really spectacular shows in this year.
Oh yes, there was many. There was many.
There were a lot.
Actually, I only watched the grand final, and I hadn't heard any of the songs before. Okay, one Estonia. Estonia I heard before, but that's only because for some reason in Sweden we already released it on the radio. I watched it, and surprisingly, like the ones that were because like all of the Nordic countries apart from Finland, that makes it in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Iceland. They were all in,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, all of the Nordic, we were like the most interesting. At least two of them was very interesting.
So what I wanted to
Yes,
talk
That's
about,
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes. Everybody will talk about this if you are European. At least the one of them.
but Cloud, just I want to talk about Iceland and Australia.
Wait, do you want to
Yeah.
talk about Australia? Really?
I like Australia because
Yeah, but my favorite was Norway.
Norway was fantastic as well. I know.
Oh yeah, but yeah, and the one thing is that Joik, more or less. Okay, so Cloud, so Norway's Norway's contestant this year, they had a more or less a power pop song. It had a lot of energy in it, and I loved it. But
Mhm.
one thing that tweeted even more, and it was that they had a Norwegian, Sami Norwegian, and Sami is the indigenous people of Lapland, which is more or less the northern part of the Scandinavian peninsula. And yeah, it's the indigenous people of the Scandinavian peninsula, and they have a special they have a traditional type of song which is called joik, and it's, I won't sing it, but they implemented it into the song with great effect. And one thing with joik is that it's very can be very emotional, can be very like it can very much envelop feelings and powerfully, and they did this and it went to great effect. They got the most votes from the public. They came was it seventh, no, fifth,
Yeah.
but it was a very good number, and some people hate it, but I just say let yourself be enveloped by the energy and you will love it.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, and one Sweden, we have a man here called Jon Henrik Fjällgren, and he is more or less famous for he is a Sami himself, and he is quite famous for more or less in being an artist that makes joint implemented music, and he has been, and a lot of the different countries have different types, different ways of selecting what song to send to the Eurovision. We Swedes, we are famous for making very polished pop music that normally do well.
Mhm.
And why? It's because we have a thing called Melodifestivalen, the Melody Festival, and yes. And
Go-
the Melody Festival, yeah. Let's see. In Norway, that's the second one. The Melody Festival, and it's 30. No, it's 28 songs. Every year, we put them into finals, and then we select them to be and 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 one thing is that John Henry Field, he has been in the Melody Festival. He has competed a lot of times,
Mhm.
and he competed this time with a
okay,
very good
Ben,
song. And
Benjamin.
wait, I'm just soon I will be finished. And
Uh,
he competed this year, and he came second to John Lundvik here, who is the one who made a cut. And the one thing is, yeah, and that's more or less the thing that after that these guys is Kanods, who is the Norwegians who made the Joik song this year. Uh, if John Henry Fredgen ever makes it in, people are just gonna think he's copying Norway.
Aha, okay.
Bummer. People are gonna, but it's cultural representation and not
Yes.
and very different to this. So no, not really.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Cloud.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your thoughts on it, work, and how come you brought it up?
Well, not only is it the gayest thing ever, but I haven't watched it
Yes.
for a while. But the thing that I thought was really interesting that we went back to original languages, like Benjamin said. There was Sami in there, but also there was, I think, North Macedonia. There was Serbia with their own language, Hungary with their own language, and the one that
Denmark is like one verse in Danish and then one whole chorus in French for some reason. It was a
so French is
also a lot of, and the one or do you wanna?
I want to talk about Iceland.
Yes. Should I or you
I want to hear her. I want to see. I want to hear her.
Because I
put we are gonna talk about more or less. Okay, we're gonna now for the rest of the podcast we are gonna talk Icelandic subject. No, because not only the whole performance, the band themselves are really goddamn interesting.
Yes.
But I
really,
just want.
They are fun.
Cloud.
They are surprisingly.
This. I want to hear work.
Yes.
Let me do this, please.
Thank you, Cloud.
Sorry.
No, I understand his enthusiasm because Iceland is a very has sent a very interesting cast of people there. I put the link to their performance in the chat, so you can have like a little sneak peek of what they are like. And so you can imagine that I didn't watch Eurovision for a couple of years, but I was like, oh, let's see what kind of contestants will there be this year. I want to see some weird characters. And then I came onto the picture of Iceland and I was like, wow, I really want to see this. Because what happens that Iceland sent a heavy metal BDSM group to Eurovision. So can you imagine?
Can I more or less what's it called? Going into something further. Good. That's one thing. For some reason, I always can I what's it called? Develop? No. What's it called? Oh God.
I want to say a little bit more, and then you, if I haven't told, you can interrupt me and get some more. Explain some more. So what I understand of this group is that the lead singer is actually a newsreader in Iceland, and his head is the way that he is looking is just fantastic. Because I think it's hilarious that someone with such an innocent face gets on stage, all in leather straps and belts and having someone following around like a dog, and then screaming.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Screaming in Icelandic that hate prevails. It is
okay.
It's a wonderful show. If you're not squeamish, I definitely suggest that you watch that performance because it is quite. It is a bit bloody, and there are some weird flexibles. I think if you know Icelandic, it will be even worse. But I highly suggest that you watch the performance just for the the whole performance of it actually, and that's why I want to also have Australia in there, because Australia was really angelic and on the poles and having a Kate Bush like sound, and then suddenly after that performance of Australia came Iceland, and I was like, I laughed my ass off because I love the Icelandic contestant so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Benjamin, I think you have
So,
more information about this group.
oh yes, we have Hatari, and they like to tell themselves the award-winning BDSM uh, techno art project Hatari, but Hatari, it's actually, yeah, it's a anti-capital it's a anti it's an anti-capitalistic political band that
Okay.
is yeah, it's more like an art project than anything else. These are very strange individuals, very interesting individuals. You can never see what's behind her. Okay, so they have made a Hatari have made a song called Hatrid Munsigra, which means hate will prevail in Icelandic, and the meaning of the song, it's a dystopia where more or less hate and everything that has more or less consumes the modern society has taken over us and it has crumbled, and it's supposed to make us learn that if we don't accept to love and more or less take care with our issues with our society, hate will prevail.
Mm-hmm.
But and the whole performance, the song has a very more or less hardcore techno techno bass line, and it's very constant, so it feels like you're, and the whole performance, the live performance, they light the whole thing completely bloodshot red. They are in leather BDSM outfits.
Yes.
Like there's a big hulking drummer gimp. That's their words, not mine. They call him that. And Einar, his name is. Drummer gimp smashing a mall from side to side with the bead of, and he's, yeah, the big gimp, and more or less it's a very strange and surreal. And sometimes they gave a blur effect, so more or less this feels like I am in a German BDSM gay bar and I'm drunk.
Yes. So, Klaus,
So
do you have any idea how it looks like from what we say?
It's like 20, however long we've been talking about this, I've just been like, on basically.
yeah,
I,
when this is done, you
never
have to listen to every single one of these four, and then we are gonna keep on talking after, because this is, like, again, we Europeans we live and eat this. This is, oh god, this is a yearly competition, and it's a great spectacle. Always.
It's awesome. I never heard of this competition before, so it's kind of cool to learn about stuff outside my wheelhouse and stuff that goes on in other places.
Ooh. And
That was a big yawn.
yeah, Madonna performed as well in the.
Oh yeah, she did. Oh yeah, and they said like, oh, Madonna's gonna perform. Like, get little children.
Yeah, they were very giddy.
But again, Hattori, it's, yeah, again, and it's let's see, it's yeah, it's the in the verses, which is okay. So when it comes to the members of the band, it's Matthias, Clements, and Einar.
Mm-hmm.
and Matthias is the one. He growls and he's more or less. It sounds like he is has been arguing 15 minutes screaming, and now he's screaming his lungs out.
Yes.
Wait, let me just.
It's
That's it, Matthias.
Okay,
That's
Benjamin,
what's kind of like
stop,
it. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's a bit
But
too much.
calm down.
imagine that.
I want to switch
Yes.
station just because I want to have something we can all talk about because I don't know, I can't talk about this because I don't know anything about it, but it sounds very interesting.
Ooh. That was an interesting thought. Yeah, don't worry, Cloud. I have something.
Let's Cloud. What did you want to talk about, Cloud?
In other movie news, Aladdin came out.
Oh dear.
Oh, has it already come out? And that's was the second one that everybody was joking about when it comes to animation, because Will Smith is the genie playing Will Smith. What is the design of the genie? A buff blue Will Smith.
Yeah,
Let me
that's Cloud
just
talk.
say that from what the reviews I've seen, it seems like the movie's not bad, but
Okay.
but like all Disney remakes, it's just like getting compared to the original, and like people are like, if you want to watch Aladdin, just watch the just because like it doesn't have the same energy.
True.
Like the songs don't have the same like oomph.
Indeed.
Prince Ali song before it like they showed that in its entirety before the movie came out, and I watched it, and like even with Will Smith singing it because of his background in music, he's not bad. It's just that
Who?
in the Disney, like in the original cartoon version, during Prince Ali, like the genie is like jumping around, changing shape, like Aladdin, like at one point, and like doing all sorts of fun, cool, like visual stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just them walking down a street, like singing and like, and that's pretty much it.
Oh dear.
So like,
Cloud.
as like visually interesting.
Nah. I am the stubborn girl who just avoids going to the real life remakes of original Disney movies. I don't.
Same.
Yeah.
I've never seen the I haven't seen the remake or any of the remakes.
Disney's bland remake.
Yeah, it's true. I really
Yeah,
wish they could.
yeah.
get that back.
When it comes to Disney's remakes, I've seen the Jungle Book.
Yeah, I was
Have I
very disappointed about the Jungle Book version.
Really?
Yes.
And like the thing is, like, I don't know how we got 3 of them in 1 year. We had Dumbo that came out like 2 months ago.
True.
We had Aladdin, and then we're also getting Lion King.
Has Dumbo come out?
Yes.
It came out a while ago.
That flew under my radar. Like, damn.
It
That
flew.
honestly,
Damn.
it's volumes too. The fact that like it came out and like you just weren't aware, you know, like because no one cares.
No, true.
Well,
Honestly, Dumbo flew under my radar until the moment, until a month before it came out.
Like
Sure.
I'm just
Like-
I'm actually surprised I have some kind of recollection that this existed. Like I know that it was a thing. I just remembered it when you just told me, but I have no idea. idea where I got information that it was a thing from. So it's just like, oh yeah, I just got it from the ether or something.
Pretty much got in order from what I can tell, except for Snow White, because apparently that one just fuck Snow White apparently. But like
what?
they pretty much
What
got in
is-
order of the remakes.
Yes.
They did
Are they gonna make a-
Cinderella.
Although I
Wait.
think they also
Oh,
skipped Pinocchio. I think.
Exactly, that was the second one, wasn't it?
They skipped Pinocchio too.
Yeah.
Although I think
We're gonna make a Fantasia. We're gonna make a new Fantasia that isn't needed. We don't need a new Fantasia.
Oh, we do need a new
I
Fantasia,
think, like-
but then with 2D animation, not with 3D or real life.
I think nowadays animation with Fantasia, and now that like I'm old enough to sit through it, because as a kid, like it did never grabbed me because like visuals and like
Mhm.
music mostly.
Classical music.
Yeah, but like as a
Legendary
kid,
pieces.
I was just not into it.
I
I think
understand.
now I could do that. I could actually watch a Fantasia.
Yeah, Fantasia 2000 is also really nice.
Well, that's the
You have
it's just
you have two types
the
of
comedic
Fantasia.
actors. The comedic actors in between the segments is kind of like, eh.
Yeah. But
They called Salvador Dali the melting watch guy.
yeah, but it's
Mhm.
his most famous thing of Salvador Dali. But I think both Fantasias have stunning animation. Although the first one is of course the best, and I also know that part of the first one is cut because of racial issues. The
What?
part with the centaurs and little satyrs. So I don't know which classical piece of
Fauns?
yeah, the fawns. There was a part that was drawn that had a centaur with a little colored centaur being the slave. So they had to cut that.
Yeah, this was in the
Or,
40s.
or is this we getting the Song of the South territory there?
Yeah. So
Oh,
they were really quick to cut that out. Yes. So but it still
back
exists.
to you.
So that little part of the slave centaur polishing the hoof of another centaur that still exists somewhere on YouTube, but it's very difficult to find. But that was in the first Fantasia.
Like, I can gather they've done Cinderella,
Mm-hmm.
kinda Sleeping Beauty from what I recall. Like I know they made Maleficent, but they also did something else with that. Or they are gonna.
Yeah.
Well,
They
they
just announced Sleeping Beauty or something like that.
Maleficent 2 they announced.
Mhm.
There's a second Maleficent
and-
coming up.
I didn't even see the first one. Okay.
She'll be the next Deadpool.
Maleficent 2, Electric Boogaloo, but
Oh, no,
I would love
not
to
me
see
loud.
that one.
Quick take.
no, but then they did Cinderella, they did Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
I think there's one in between those two, like Maleficent or something. They did Jungle Book,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did the ones that are out right now, the Dumbo, Aladdin, then Lion King, and then I know they have plans for
Wait.
like Lilo and Stitch, and they have plans for like a bunch of different ones.
Oh, they did 101
Lilo and Stitch in live action, that either very bad or absolutely adorable.
I'm not cut out the Elvis music because goddamn.
Mm.
But
No. Elvis, no, don't cut out Elvis.
the only
No.
one I'd actually look forward to them doing in live action versus how the one they already have in animation would be Treasure Planet. I
Yeah.
think that one in
Yes,
live
that's
action
my
would actually be
that's
pretty
my
good.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite Disney movie.
I
That was
also,
mine too. Like that one's really fucking good.
I also love it.
Yes, yeah, just some people don't get the visual style, but the people that do love it, and I love it. Oh
Yes, me
God.
too.
It's
New-
very good.
70% is 70% 16th century, no 18th century, and 70% futuristic.
It's basically
And
steampunk.
Yeah,
no, it's
it was
not
steampunk
steampunk, but
before
it's
it was cool.
no, it's steampunk slash sci-fi. No, it's
That's what
sci-fi.
steampunk is.
Yeah, but
It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
yeah, but this has a like an actual universe.
Hmm.
Feels like it has.
That's true.
I like how the moon is just like
It feels like it has
extended
a
out.
world. Yeah, it has an. It has a. It's a moon, but when you zoom in, it's an actual city.
Yeah, that's really true.
They did a lot
Yeah.
of cool visual stuff for the
Oh
time.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yes.
was really lovely. I just put up the cinematography. I don't know. I don't pronounce it right.
Cinematography.
Yeah, thank you. And they also skipped Bambi.
Oh.
I guess
hmm.
Bambi wouldn't be very interesting in
Yes.
like live action. Like to be fair,
I think they have
I mean, like,
Yeah.
if they
like-
want to cut all the bad things happening to
I
Bambi,
wonder
there's,
how
like,
gory
nothing
can you make.
left.
I wonder how gory can you make Bambi's mom's death.
they probably were just gonna do what they did originally. Oh, they also skipped over Fox and the Hound.
Oh, but I don't like the Fox and the Hound.
Oh God! Oh, oh good. I
They're
watched
trying to
this.
avoid
I
current
watched the
shit.
sequel to Fox and Hounds more than the original movie. Actually, the one where they're singing
skipped
dogs.
over Robin Hood too.
Yeah.
Or wait, there is that one oh well, there is that one Robin Hood movie with the guy from what's it called from Kingsman.
Yeah. But that's not the same.
Yeah, but still, like I'm quite sure they know that they don't want to make a Robin Hood movie when it will come out to with another Robin Hood movie.
Oh, they do lots of stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, fuck me then.
Like they skipped over a lot of things. I think.
Yeah. The Rescuers would be nice. Do you remember the Rescuers? With the little mice?
Is it the one with the kid with the giant?
Yes.
Was that the one with the kid with the giant bird?
That's the Rescuers Down Under, and the original
That's the
Rescuers.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was best of the Disney sequels.
Yes.
No, actually, that one is also a Disney classic.
Yes, it's the only
Which
sequel
is
that
very
also is a
unique
classic.
to to Disney sequels. Normally, they're just
Was
straight DVD.
Five Goes West? Was that a Disney one? A Disney?
No. That's Don. No, that's a spin-off of Don Blues.
Yes.
Don Blues.
Don Bluth, indeed.
So-
the same
Fucking-
the same one
I love
from Anastasia. Anastasia. is a
Secret of
Disney
Nim.
other. So Aladdin's coming, Lion
Fr-
King.
I liked the Fivefold movies. Like
Yeah.
I know, like some people don't like them, but I really like them as a kid.
I only I only saw Fireball Goes West and not like the original
I
one.
saw
Because,
the original, but like,
yeah, and the
I
original
saw
one, that's the
Five Goes West
good
more.
one that is supposed to what's it called that Don Bluth made,
Mm-hmm.
and that one is supposed to be the real good one. But I actually got like 2, and the one where it was The Secret Under Manhattan, which has a crazy plot with Indians living underground.
It's a very weird movie.
Yes, that was
Unique
very
animation
weird.
style.
Oh, you know which movie I
That's
actually
Don
have
Bluth, more or less.
Yeah,
He made Dragon Slayer.
he also made The Secret of Nim that I really have to rewatch later.
I said that.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Some people, that's like some people's favorite one.
It's a really grown-up animation. To be fair, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Yeah, but Don Bluth, more or less. Oh yeah, the Land Before Time too, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
He did the first one.
Yeah, because there's like 16 sequels. I'm not even kidding.
True.
I've seen like
There's
a couple of them.
Yeah, like they are quite alright. Like the first 7 sequels. I have a lot of them. Then I also have the original one. Like, and Don Bluth once said that kids can more or less kids can handle anything as long as it has a happy ending attached to it.
Yeah.
So it was very much like violence. Show the kids that shit. Yeah, people dying of disease. Sure.
Yeah.
The brutality of nature. Yes. Like it's a lot of
kid,
them.
I actually skipped over. Like I never saw Atlantis as a kid.
It's not worth it.
Like
That's
it never
Disney.
interested me anyway. Yeah, except my
I never actually. I saw it, but I don't know. It feels like it's the same thing as like.
Which is weird because apparently it was really successful because it also has a direct to DVD sequel, and
Yes.
like I
Does it have
heard
a straight to DVD sequel? Really? Oh god.
I've heard like only good things about it.
Well, I just.
Which is more of that like steampunky like stuff in it too.
Yeah, like again, as it's very much like Turtle Planet in the sense that it has a very unique style.
It's like almost the same animation style.
Think like make World War II stuff steampunky and futuristic in a steampunky way, and there you have Treasure Planet, kinda. If you know what I mean, like the 40.
And like, I hope.
Oh, is Cloud sleepy?
Oh man, I get sleepy quick.
Yes.
I do. I don't know. I love it. Live action Treasure Planet. I think it visually would look really good, and like, because some of the like scenes in that are like beautiful.
Yes, and I know they can do it.
Because... because like, should we have a live action Tarzan movie really made?
Depends on who is playing
I
Tarzan.
wanna know. Can you show
make
me?
one. They didn't make one because there was one other studio that made Tarzan. Tarzan is like a classic book of who made the Tarzan book?
I think Tarzan's public domain.
Yeah.
But who made the book? It's a classic piece of literature, and anybody can make a thing on it.
Edgar Rice Burroughs. And
Edgar
it was
Burroughs.
Burroughs. And Tarzan appeared first in Tarzan of the Apes in 1912, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah, the classic Tarzan.
Yeah, that one.
That one, that's actually quite an interesting one because I don't know, the actor who played it was like an Austrian slash swimmer, I think. Who made that scream? At least he was a jodler. He was joddling.
I've seen Tarzan, and it still holds
the
up.
one
It's
with
still pretty well.
Alexander Skarsgård.
What?
Because there was a recently a live action version of Tarzan. No, it was a Tarzan movie. It was very not. It was like more after the whole event of like the Disney movie, and it was more or less it was Alexander Skarsgård and Samuel Jackson, and I think and Margot Robbie too.
Did
Oh.
you did you know that the first Tarzan film was from 1918 with someone named Elmo Lincoln as Tarzan? It was
18.
yes.
Yeah.
It was
That doesn't surprise me at all because it is a very early thing and it
yeah, in 1932 Weissmuller was Tarzan. So the very first one was without sound in 1918.
Yeah, that's just a thing how that's just a testament how old the book is and how how
how loved it actually is. But what I also want to
Disney
say,
movies are.
I just want to say a little bit about Treasure Planet, to come back to that, because what I wanted to say, I was a big fan of Doctor Who, especially of the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, and so I wanted to say, like, if they want to make a real life version of Treasure Planet, they can do it because Doctor Who did all the cat figures and all the costumes in Doctor Who. If they fuck it up, and I'm really serious, I'm coming to America and I beat the hell out of them. If they fuck this up with the Treasure Planet, they cannot fuck it up.
If they fuck up Treasure Planet.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because again, the people who like Treasure Planet fucking love it. We all are all free Treasure Planet extremists. Yes, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, sun sails. Get me those sun sails. Yes.
Treasure Planet is just a good movie.
Yeah.
Yes, like it feels like what's it called, like in Fallout, how that a lot of their weaponry is like steampunky. This feels like it's laser muskets, laser pistols, and it's big sailing. It's
another
big
one of
old
those movies,
it's
though,
big
that,
old
like,
sailing boats in space. How can you not?
It's another movie though that has a Robin Williams character in it.
Yes.
So like,
Wait, what?
The robot.
yeah, the robot was played by
robot?
Robin Williams.
Wait,
You know,
that
the, like,
annoying robot. Was that
and there was
Robin
this door
Williams?
that was opening and closing and opening and closing.
No, wait. Let's see.
Crazy one that lost his memory.
Yeah.
Is that Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Really now? Because that really doesn't seem like. And the one thing is that I have watched this in the Swedish version, so of course I never.
Actually, I think
You sweet boy.
I always thought.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was Robin
Swedish.
Williams
Yeah,
as
call
well.
me sweet boy, but I'm Wait, let's see.
I thought the robot was Robin Williams as well, but I think it's actually Martin Short. Because the robot was called Ben, right?
Yeah, Martin Short. It's Martin Short. It's not.
It was Martin Short. Okay, and he's still alive, so you know.
Yeah.
That's his role.
So it's
you're still alive, so
not,
you can
but-
still voice the robot.
If they made Ben and made him less Jar Jar Binksy, because he's like the only real Bond. In the same way that. Jar Binks is annoying. If they actually made him that, and more or less, if they made a live action Treasure Planet, one thing,
Feels so
make
bad.
Ben a animatronic. make Ben an
Just-
if they could pull off Ben a Ben animatronic, I would just take my money.
Man, I feel so bad for the guy who played Jar Jar Binks because that character gets shit on all the time.
Yeah, but
And,
that's but again, his that was a voice role, and it was a very specific voice.
Oh, no,
So
like, there's a
more or less,
video
so
I
nobody is
watched.
gonna recognize him being anything else that isn't very Jar Jar Binksy. If you
I watched
get
a
what I mean.
video about it, and apparently he got really depressed after that, and like,
Aww.
on all that shit. Like he was very upset at the backlash about his character.
Oh, it's not your. It's Peter Lucas as always. So no, it's not your fault.
No, it was just the way he was written.
Yes, he was made to. Again, if you make a character that's supposed to be lovable, quirky, and is supposed to be the funny one, if they are not, if you don't find them lovable and quirky, and you try to make them very funny and running gaggy and that kind of thing, people will hate them. But if you make them good, people will love them. But if not, they will hate them, and that was Jar Jar Binks.
Like, the comedy's got to be natural. It can't it can't be forced. In a lot of movies and a lot of shows don't understand that.
Mr. Happy to see you.
It's like, oh yeah, he has a funny voice. Like that doesn't mean
did very
funny.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, yeah. I've actually never seen Star Wars movies.
Wait, what?
I've never seen any of them. Any of them.
You better start.
Did you
No,
say
I
that
haven't.
on the internet. Why did you do that to yourself?
I haven't seen Game of Thrones either.
Well,
Lie, to be fair.
to be
At
fair,
all. I haven't. But that's one thing. I more or less this. Okay, actually, like this, the first three movies, not the pre.
the real three movies, yeah.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, I had the whole plot spoiled more or less. Because it's I don't care. I grew up with it being spoiled to me, so I don't care. I had a Lego game with all the three original movies.
I think it's not about the plot to me. I think it's just about the story and the visuals and watching it happen.
Yeah, but again, I know Ben Kenobi dies. I know Luke's Vader's his father. And Ooh, that's one thing that Star Wars and Game of Thrones have in common: incest. But Game of Thrones did it a lot more.
At least
Star Wars it was just an unknowing kiss. They didn't even know they were. But in I don't know how graphic it is in Game of Thrones, but I think it's more like full on bonking.
It's just really good.
Which one of them? The incest?
No, the
Star Wars.
Star Wars. The first three were great. Like 4, 5, and 6 were great. 1, 2, and 3 are alright.
Yeah.
And 7 was, I liked 7, but I haven't seen 8 yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
No. If you want to see any of them, go for 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3 are not that important. 7 and 7.
I don't need a forced explained. But one thing is that like the whole goddamn lore and all that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really feel like the whole thing, like the Imperial armies and all that, because when it comes to if there's a vast lore and there's like an actual like there are militaries that fight each other and you can pin them up against each other, just like imaginary. Mm-hmm. Like this kind of combat, like space combat, is a lot of spaceships, like and then on like land battles, on planets, the battles would be like fought with laser guns. and that kind of thing. That's not really my thing. What I like more is like instead of Star Wars when it comes to talking about what they would do, and I'm more like a Lord of the Rings medieval warfare. It's a lot more interesting to me than just pew, you're dead. Now we go forward. It's
Okay. Um,
So yeah, when it comes to lore, I'm not really a big fan of Star Wars.
no.
But one thing was like with the ultra deep lore, it was that the band in the cantina, the one that plays that that one, they are, I don't know what they are called, but the music they are playing is an intergalactic genre music called Yes.
Aha.
Yeah.
Bless you, by the way, Cloud.
Mhm.
Dang.
I thought it was Barbs who had the migraine. Oh
I
God.
don't know why.
Mm.
Up a storm right now.
Oh.
Oh God.
But to close it off because we're running
Yeah.
more than an hour.
Mhm.
The one that Sorry.
Feels like he's getting punched to death.
rather not.
I don't know what's happening.
We love you, Cloud.
It feels
Stay
like you
healthy.
have violent hiccups and coughs at the same time.
The... Okay, it seems to be gone. That sucked.
Stay healthy. But about talking about lore, hey, then we have someone watching. Hi. Talking about lore, do you know Terry Pratchett and the Discworld?
Hmm?
Terry Pratchett, do you know the Discworld lore?
No, I don't know what that is.
Then I'm the only weeb today who was really excited to have Good Omens coming out soon, because it's a show based on a book by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, and it's called Good Omens, and it has
Ooh.
David Tennant in it, Michael
I know who
Sheen.
Neil Gaiman is.
Yeah.
He's the guy who wrote Coraline.
Yes. And together, Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman made a masterpiece of a book, and it already looks so good. It's an Amazon series coming out the end of this month, and it looks so good. And I'm really excited to do it. So if anyone
Ooh.
knows about Good Omens, go watch it because we need more of this kind of shit. They have like the humor is so British and so amazing, so sarcastic. I love it. So if you are anything in like, so there is magic involved. There is a bit of humor involved. If you like, for example, what's it called again? Well, it's not Lord of the Rings, but it is very its own universe and its own thing, and it is very
A lot of his own
very
rules and such.
yes. Death is hilarious to have an example. Do you think death? Yes,
Is hilarious.
death is hilarious.
Death.
Yes. Death is the most hilarious character Terry Pratchett ever wrote. I love it.
Oh,
Everyone-
okay. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward for that. Someone is knocking on someone's door.
Yeah, I know.
Is Klaus still with us, or is he?
Benjamin, get your shit together. Don't professional.
Oh, good lord. So I'm looking forward for that. Is anyone looking forward to anything except for Detective Pikachu?
Is there anyone looking forward to anything?
Yeah.
I mean, right now,
Yeah.
like,
Sorry for that.
it's all good. Things that are coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
I
have one.
Cloud.
for I guess what
No, I want you to go first.
I like as far as movie goes, like Iron Man movies coming out like soon, so I want to see that. But like besides that, I gotta wait till October for anything like interesting to happen.
Okay.
So like right now, yeah, it's a bit of a dry spell with ending.
Mm-hmm.
Star versus the Force Evil just had its final season. I haven't finished it up. Game of Thrones ended, but I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Okay.
No, not me
Supernatural
either.
is gonna start its final season in October, and to see how they end it. And that's all I got. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing also about things coming out on Amazon, I think. An Amazon exclusive, a Lord of the Rings TV series is getting made. Plus, it has a budget of $1 billion.
That's a big budget. That is a big budget. What are they gonna do with $1 billion?
They, I don't know,
what's
biologically an actual orc.
what they're gonna do is they're gonna make you think it's gonna be this big epic show, and then all it is like them needing to destroy the ring, and then all of them getting taken by the Falcon, and then being dropped off immediately. And then
Yeah, and the only real reason why it's because it's a real eagle that they bred to be so big, and then they trained it.
And they learn to talk.
But again, I would like to see that, and what I am wondering, what will it be about?
Yeah.
What I would want is they to cover more or less the War of the Ring in a different manner, because like there was a lot of battles, because like the War of the Ring in the Lord of the Rings universe, the movies don't cover half of it.
No.
More or less, when it comes to battle.
the War of the Rings was covered more in the Shadow of War games than it is in.
But one battle that more or less happened at the same time as the battle at the Black Gate was that Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, the thing that they fought over in the Hobbit, was besieged, and Dwayne, no, not Dwayne, but the guy's cousin, the guy who comes in with the reinforcements, the dwarven reinforcements, that guy, in the Hobbit movie, he dies in that siege. Yeah, and more or less, there's a lot of those kind of things, and if more or less they would cover that, and more or less, cover all of that, like the things of the War of the Rings we didn't see, like that would actually be really interesting.
Yeah.
How they would make a story out of that, I don't know. I just want to see some battles.
The one
I just want to see thousands and thousands of dollars being put into people animating thousands and thousands of people smacking the shit out of each other.
Oh man,
I love it.
Man, Endgame had the best fucking battle sequence I think I've ever seen in my life at the end of a movie.
Didn't see
I haven't
Endgame. I haven't actually seen a single MCU movie.
I did.
So good. You saw Endgame?
I haven't seen any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, actually.
Arbs, you saw Endgame?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I got used to like my brother just ripping it off and then showing it to the family. But I haven't seen a lot of movies after I got my own home. Let's say that.
So more or less, so only watched it because it was the only because you only had one TV and your.
It was just It was so good. It was the
Mhm.
most hype thing ever happened to me. I looked over to
Really,
my
really
my
now, because I think if you want a bigger adrenaline rush, you would probably want Mad Max Fury Road,
Mhm.
I think no, I
because
think
that's
it
like
tops that.
the whole movie is it's like it's a road run.
For me, the reason why it tops everything is just because I've kept up every year with these movies and these characters, and I just see like all of them band together for like this huge fight,
Yeah,
like at the end of a movie.
it has a huge build up
So
anyway.
cool.
It had the biggest
Mhm.
build
Oh
up of
man,
anything.
Yeah, because like, oh
just it
God, wasn't yeah
was
because
just like
like
it is
God,
almost
I
an hour.
remember
A
when
fight is like almost an hour long.
yeah, whoa,
Yeah,
how long is Endgame?
3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, God.
You
But
cannot complain,
Mortis,
Benjamin,
but damn,
because
like the hype has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Who remembers that Age of
I
Ultron?
do.
That was like a really big spectacle.
I do because I was there opening
Infinity
night.
War, and then we got Endgame. That was even bigger spectacle.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, just like oh man, just there was just it was just pure fan service stuff. Like it uses Thor's hammer and that. Like
Yeah.
shit gets
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, that was like yeah.
Cloud, did
Oh,
someone spoil it for you, by the way? Because there was this huge deal about spoiling Endgame.
No, actually,
I
I kept pretty under the radar until I
I
saw
I,
it.
I actually got spoiled. I haven't
Oh.
actually seen it, but I have gotten spoiled by someone, by a prick on Omegle.
Oh dear.
Who just he was just there, typed the spoiler, and then left.
Oh yeah. Those stupid
Like
trolls are
yeah,
everywhere.
if I actually cared, you would have destroyed my dream.
Yeah.
Fuck you very much. Yeah.
Just there was just the whole movie was structured very well. Like I'm gonna do a video at some point on the opposites of Infinity War and Endgame, the different feelings I got from both of them.
Mhm.
Uh, it was so good, and like the fight scene alone is just like Ant-Man gets really big and like punches this like flying thing out of the air at one point,
Oh, he
and I
doesn't
was
go
like,
into
oh
famous anus. The famous
No,
theory.
no, no, no.
Ah.
no,
Ah.
just like a bunch of shit happens that like Spider-Man uses his instant kill mode in his suit to kill a bunch of like alien
Wait,
creatures
didn't
at that one point.
Spider-Man die in
It's so good.
Infinity War?
That's one of the
Or
spoilers.
But not anymore. What?
the whole movie is just about like getting them back.
Yeah.
It oh man, there's some shenanigans in that fucking movie.
Wait, they put him back? Wasn't the whole thing that they died for real, and then they just fix it like, yeah, we can take him back. Oh God, it's really true. A character never truly dies in television.
It was more like so in Infinity War, like the way they died was Thanos used Infinity Stones to like
Mhm.
bend reality to snap them out of
They
existence.
turn to dust.
Yeah. So like the thing with that is though, if you get the stones back, you can snap them back into existence.
Aha.
Like so, like it's a double-edged blade.
Yes.
Okay.
Get like the problem was when they went to go get the stones back from Thanos, he used this. He used the to like get rid of the stones,
Mm.
Oh.
and
Okay.
then it's a real. And then it turns out how do we get them back? What do we do? Kind of situation.
Mhm.
It's really interesting and really good.
Yeah. For
It's
anyone listening and thinking this is all spoilers, the spoiler ban was lifted, so we can talk spoilers, but just in case. We were
Yeah.
like, "What's this?" Yeah, we are talking spoilers.
Yeah, it becomes like it's like shenanigans,
Yeah.
uh,
Wait,
which is
time
really
travel's
fun.
like one stone that could make you go. Oh, you could time travel, yeah.
Well, like there's like and like there's like this sciencey way they do it with Ant-Man and stuff like that. But like the time traveling stuff is like really fun because they go back to the first Avengers movie, like and like are sneaking around, and that's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark gets to see his dad uh, and talk with him, which is really sweet. There's just a lot of good moments in that movie,
Yeah.
and like the fight was just self-topped itself. Like just doing like whatever like they thought the fans would want. There's even a good scene with all the women in Marvel charging the Thanos and like Captain Marvel being OP as fuck.
Okay.
For no
Uh,
reason than a fan service.
Spoiler, because Benjamin has asked me a question, and this is the end, like the end of the movie, and the biggest spoiler part about it is to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
Thanos at the end of the movie, the fight is happening because Thanos, uh, that they that in the past that they were time traveling, and so he time traveled to the point in time they are, and like it was so it becomes a fight to protect the stones, and they could try to give the stones back into the proper places in time before Thanos takes it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it's going pretty well until Thanos gets a hold of the gauntlet on and use it,
Mm-hmm.
and like everyone's defeated by Iron Man. Like not like super defeated. No one was around by Iron Man basically, and
Mhm.
Iron Man charged and made it seem like he was just trying to get the glove off, and but in reality he was taking the stones out of the sockets
Okay.
and like put and so like then Iron Man
You
decided
what?
he took the stones out of the glove, and then Iron Man decided to use them on in his suit,
Okay.
snapped his fingers to Thanos and them disappear. But in doing that, he the stones create feedback, uh, kill Tony.
Aha.
Uh-huh.
So Tony was
Yeah,
actually too weak.
yeah.
So all of this puzzle, and the only thing, Iron Man.
Iron Man does pass away, and then
That's Fanus due to.
Thanos dies, and Captain America at the end of the movie decides to after he puts back all the stones in the proper place and time, decides that he wants to live out his life in his time
Mhm.
with his girl of his dreams.
Ah, yeah, I heard about that. Yes.
It was very sweet.
Mhm.
At the end, to give as an old man to give Falcon his shield.
Yes.
It's a very sweet moment. His funeral for Tony Stark was also a very moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it just all the characters lined up in respect for Tony was really.
Mhm. And
I don't know.
just
It was
just
just so good.
yeah, just one other spoiler. Was Stan Lee in Endgame or not?
Was there any dedication to Stanley?
Yeah, even Stanley's last cameo was also was in that movie.
Yeah, so it's the
What?
last
No.
cameo. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they
But
filmed the last
one thing
cameo.
about he had the same birthday as me, 28th of December actually.
Mhm.
And what was it now? Professor McGonagall. Dame Maggie Smith also has the same birthday as me, weirdly enough.
It's a good birthday. But
Yes,
but
yes,
they
yes.
they they filmed
Very peculiar people.
they filmed the last cameo of Stan Lee before his death, right? Did Stan Lee know that? Was it a
Because
special one?
they treated when they were filming Infinity War and Endgame, they treated it as one shoot instead of like two separate movies.
Yeah.
So the filming was done around the same time, and so like had Stan do both the cameos fast, and it was before he was like.
And
That was cool.
Yeah, I can imagine that because yeah, I think he
But
went to
but one
almost
thing.
everyone. Yeah,
Yes?
Ben.
Yeah.
No, I just
It's
No,
like,
what I meant. What one thing? He was very old.
oh yeah.
He died he was 95.
It was, from what I can gather, he just got sick, and his body couldn't handle him being sick at that point, and like he passed away. But like the cameo is really cool because it's like it was during the time travel part, so it's like the 70s, and he's like in a sports car with his with like a girl in the seat, and he's driving past the military base, and he's just like, hey,
so
man,
it was like so he was more or less just being a sugar daddy.
It was really funny. It even had like his catchphrase on a bumper sticker that he used to say in the 70s. So it was just a really like fun one of the better. And
oh, that's very cute. That's very cool. I still have to watch it, but I want to watch it even more right now. So that's cool.
oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie, and I highly suggest it. At some point, I want to watch Infinity War and then Endgame right afterwards, which would be like a whole day.
Wasn't that how long is Infinity War actually?
It's like I think it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Benjamin, we cannot complain with Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings was like almost 4 hours, the last one.
People say they've read the book in the time it took for the movie to like to like.
Wow, that's good. Did I ever tell you?
Let's see, Lord.
Did I ever tell you that I was in the movies in the cinema, part 3, so Return of the King, and at the end, so where Frodo gets into the boat with the elves to go to the Elven land, someone
In the Grey Havens, yes.
The Grey Havens, someone in the audience says, "Are those elves?" And everyone was like, "What?" So in the third movie, at the end of the movie, someone asked, "Are those elves?" That was the most hilarious, weird thing ever. So it was probably someone who has been sleeping the whole time, like 3 hours something, and just woke up and like, "Oh, are those elves?" So everyone was really laughing hard, and it was so funny.
It's pretty funny.
Did you already found it, Benjamin? How long the third movie is? But it went on.
No, I'm not making the third movie. I'm just making all of them divided by 60. That that's the extended version is 11 hours. 11 hours.
Yeah, so it's a bit more than 2 hours every time. Around no, it's 3 hours and or something.
No, it's more than 3 hours every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lord of the Rings is a sit.
Lord of the Rings, we love.
Yeah.
Again, it contains Sean Bean's personally favorite death scene.
Sean Bean, yeah.
More or less, that's one of his speeches about why he dies all the time. It's like, I like Lord of the Rings. That's his favorite death scene in his movies.
the late Christopher Lloyd in it too. The playing the white
Saruman.
Yeah, Saruman.
No, Saruman.
Yeah.
You do not seriously think that. You don't seriously think that. That a hobbit can take.
You know I'm also
I know.
Did you
Oh,
know?
it's 250 minutes. The third movie.
Ah, yeah.
250 minutes extended, or 200 minutes the normal one.
Yeah, so it's almost 4
Yeah.
hours.
And that's. So let's see. That's.
It's about 2 hours and like 50 minutes or something like crazy.
No, that's. Let's see. Let's see. That's 4 hours, like 12 minutes, I think.
Yeah, the extended
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's extended
No.
version. It's over 4 hours. Yeah.
It
So it's
Uh,
over 3 hours. Yeah, it's very very big.
Yeah.
But yeah, who doesn't love who doesn't love Lord of the Rings here?
it's like I
Everyone
haven't watched
loves.
it in forever, but yeah.
Like I don't really super duper like Star Wars, because it's sci-fi, like Eber sci-fi is not really my
Don't you
thing.
say
on
that?
such, that's such a
Say
big
that
scale.
though. You can't say that because you haven't seen them. You can't put forth that opinion.
I've played a lot of games. I have
Your games are
Battlefield.
different. Like
I have
I'm not a
Battlefield.
big Star Wars guy. I'm not, but like I think that
I'm
that's
not
okay.
a big
but,
Star
like,
Wars guy, but rings because, and I'm not really that in the lore. I don't know much of the lore. I just really get off. Very good. I love medieval and seeing armies clash on a battlefield like that in such a cinematic scale is.
It's been almost 2 hours.
Yes.
Yes. No. And we're going. No, we're gonna talk as long as the longest Endgame if we need to.
Endgame is so
Again,
movie.
yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, but Barbs, did you get
Professor
my?
Hulk,
What?
in Endgame, Hulk is Banner decided that him and Hulk are like one person now. So like he has this like brains of Bruce Banner with the body of the Hulk. It was like Mark Ruffalo's face.
Yeah.
And with the glasses and everything, it's pretty cool.
Wait! Please say that they put more or less Hulk in a lab coat. And he
didn't wear a lab coat in it, but like he's like a smart boy now, but but it's also really strong.
Yeah,
He used
but
the brain and the
one thing
brawn.
about Hulk in the comics, they don't have Black Widow to more or less calm him down. What do they have? Just a huge crate of puppies, because he loves dogs. The Hulk loves dogs, so whenever like they can't, whenever they always have a huge crate full of puppies, just in case they don't have the Hulkbuster armor or something. Just drop a crate full of puppies on him, and they will more or less calm down because they love. He plays with the. What?
It usually happens in the comics that Hulk and Banner become one person, and it makes it so like he's not just a raging monster anymore. It's like there's like he's smart. Hulk freak out anymore, which is really good.
Yeah.
As much as the Hulk himself like tries to be good on his own without Banner, it's just like he can't control the rage sometimes, and like some of his enemies know that, so some of them will try to make him angry on purpose to make public opinion sway with him.
He's truly chaotic, Hulk.
And
chaotic? No, not chaotic evil. Chaotic neutral.
I didn't say
think.
evil.
Yeah, chaotic neutral on the D&D sheets, and
Yeah.
more or less when it comes to the alignments, all of it. Most of them are very like quite broad, but chaotic neutral is quite specific because that's when it gets weird. Because there was one that like did small illustrations to all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Cat is
when it came
attacking
to
my hand.
chaotic neutral, was like hide the peanut butter. It's about to get weird.
My cat was just attacking my hand.
Oh dear.
Ah, that's cute. Yeah, I'm bleeding now.
He's attacking his tail.
Oh, okay.
Get it?
Oh, that's an adorable image right there. A cat chasing its
Cute
own
cat.
tail.
I love this cat.
Yeah. Cats are.
He's just intense. He still has this, we haven't got him neutered yet.
Oh, okay.
So, like crazy.
Yeah.
So more or less, you haven't cut off his balls yet.
He'll like sprint across the house and like onto the things or attack me, then jump off and run away as fast as he can. Doing like random cat things.
I kind of would want that in a cat. Just a crazy cat.
It can be annoying because it'll like attack my cords
Yeah.
and bite at them. Things like that.
My cat was eating plastic today, so I was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You're
Or if
right,
like
Emma.
already is like bringing home groceries
Yeah.
and putting them away, and the bag will still be out because we don't, Gene, we don't have plastic bags. We only have paper.
Mm-hmm.
So the cat will just go inside the bag. We'll
Yeah.
just like go, what's this? Jump in it and we'll like chill out.
Yeah.
Or if you have boxes, we'll do that too.
That's just cute.
That is.
Cats
cute.
are adorable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm more of a dog person, to be honest.
I love doggos.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just
Cats
like
are easy
again,
to take care
for
of.
all of my
Okay.
life, like again, I have two cats. One is like a grumpy old man who is like I'm afraid of him because he has the potential to bite, and then we have another one, a cute black one. He was a stray, so he is very shy, but he never ever attack. Not even if he's cornered. Not even nothing. And that he's just the sweetest cat ever.
Cute.
Yeah,
And,
cats are like easier to take care of. I don't gotta like out for a walk,
Yes, but like they are very much passive lovers. Again,
Yeah.
I want a dog because they will love me direct. Show that to me in the face and just being. Yeah.
But also with me, I've been around dogs a lot, especially the last 7 years of my life because of my mom's shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So like, she had a husky that last time I went over there.
Oh, they are adorable.
It was so cute. Ghost and like, oh my god, it was just really cute.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It was on Mother's Day, and I went out to see my mom and hang out with her.
Mm-hmm.
This dog at their help training. They had to train it to not like. So what we did was we kept it on this one spot.
Mm-hmm.
We on this cloth, and he just sat there until my mom's boyfriend told him that he was allowed to move.
Okay.
It worked.
Okay, good.
I even was calling him, and he just stayed away, and like we really wanted to, but like
Yeah.
leave until I'm told I can.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good.
Good.
We had a pug once, and pug was super attached to me. He would just come in my room, and that's how I would just chill out with it.
Mm.
One time I took a shower
It.
and he didn't recognize me, and he was just like, "Who are you?" And then after a minute, he was like, "Oh, it's you!" And then like tackled me pretty much.
Aw.
Super cute.
No. Again, dogs.
We do big dogs and little dogs. We have this Mexican hairless. That's one of our personal dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, fun fact: hairless dogs can have hair, but it just depends on like the animal is how much hair they will have.
Wait, a Mexican hairless dog? Do you mean a? Wait,
It's like it's a
did
little
it cut out
chihuahua,
there? Do you mean a solo hund, a solo dog?
I guess. And like her name's Tinky. She's super sweet. One
Aw.
time, my mom was like just got out of the shower and like Tinky was barking at my mom, trying to be all like tough, and my mom turned around and put up her hands and like started to, and she like immediately started whining and like
Mm.
trying to back away.
Aw.
That's the name of the
She would
breed,
do this
by the way.
thing where like we would hold her. But if she loves you, she's fine with you holding her. But if you like hand her to someone she doesn't know, she just starts screaming
Aw.
as loud as she can.
That sounds very sad.
She's a very cute dog
Yeah.
and very quirky and really fun. Well, she'll
Yeah,
sit on
a
your
lot
lap.
of very small dogs are like quirky.
She'll sit on your lap, and then they have to come and say hi to you. He'll like go like growl at it and then go run and
Hmm.
like bite at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad though because recently that dog lost its hearing because
Oh,
she's a
okay.
very old dog,
Yeah.
but she still has like sight and smell. But you you can't she can't hear you anymore. So you can call her name all you want,
Yeah.
but she's just not gonna pay attention.
No.
You gotta like do very animated gestures.
We have a lot of dogs. We have like 3 personal dogs. We used to have more, but no, we have 4 personal dogs. Um, and we used to have one more. A tumor suddenly,
Aw.
and by the time we discovered it, it was too late. It was very fast. It happened really quick,
Yeah.
and which sucked because that dog was like the most lovable
Hmm.
dog. Her name was Zuna.
Okay.
She was one of the sweetest dogs I've ever been with, but stuff like that happens. We have another sweet boy named Belu who's like a blue pit bull
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
and is super cute and super lovable.
Yeah.
We've had him since he was a puppy, and like he does this thing where he'll spin in a circle because when he was younger and we would like always like pet him and say good boy and stuff. So now like anytime he gets excited, he'll just start doing like and if you tell him to do a rodeo, that's what he'll do. We'll just keep going in a circle.
Aw. Very
Boy.
cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to talk more because we hit the 2-hour mark according to my streaming?
I think we should cut it here.
I think that's good. 2 hours has been, I think, makes up for last week, and
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like extra long stream. It's been a while since we've all talked, so it's been nice just chatting.
Yes.
Was a nice talk.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, we thought we would have a guest this week, but we hopefully have one guest next week.
Mm-hmm.
We should have one at some point.
Yeah.
We have actually 2 coming up.
Yes.
We have 2 semi-planned. We have 2 people in, so
I'm always,
2
contact
lovely ladies.
other webcomic
Unaffiliated.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've been keeping up with Jupiter's webcomic.
Ah.
It's been very sweet. Recently, she
Oh,
does a really cute page.
Yeah.
oh yeah. The one with the kiss.
Um, and the one after that just came out the other day was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, that one. That one's cute. Yeah, that was cute. Good.
But I'm always open for more web artists or anyone else we can get to come on and talk about stuff like that.
Yeah. But for now,
you know,
we're going to stop for today. So thank you both. Thank you everyone who joined us. It was a very nice stream.
But yeah, remember that me like if you want to follow us on Twitter to know our ongoings on or our thoughts. Sometimes I'll post them on that Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
We got that, and then and like also our YouTube page where I upload the podcast like after like usually on the same day. It just depends on how quick my internet is with like downloading the file and putting it up.
Indeed.
And then we got that's pretty much it.
Okay.
For everyone for tuning in.
Yes. What do you call it? Ben and I are going to talk a bit more about Eurovision, but that will be another time. We will see when that will come. Right, Ben?
Oh yeah. I just messaged her under all of this, and when we were talking about Eurovision, that me and her gotta do like an extra thing. Doing Cloud Wars extra, just shouting about Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
It's just a planet woman and a gay guy talking, both European, talking about that's gonna go on for hours and it's gonna be great to listen to. Yeah. I want to do that. I want to do that. I will do that. Oh God, yeah.
And we won't bother you.
I wouldn't
with
if I want
Cloud.
to. Yeah. Again, yeah.
Okay.
Cloud, we will just do it without him. Cloud.
It will be okay.
But thanks to everyone for watching this stream.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time. I'm going to rate a friend of mine, Space Warrior Yose. So, see you. Let's see. I have 5 seconds left to raid. 3, 2, 1. Raid. Lovely. Okay, I'm raiding someone. But he's offline. Oh no!
Who?
I wanted to raid a friend of mine who was doing
raid.
Yeah, a raid. You can raid on Twitch, so you will put your yourself and all your followers to them.
Yeah. But again, that was actually great fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's always funny